Hi, Ms. Bharti. Thank you so much for joining us on CSR Live. And it's been great during the pandemic. The work that you and the Sakshi NGO have been doing, it's just fantastic. And I just want to start with a little your personal journey. Like, how exactly did your journey with Sakshi start? And are the personal experiences part of the driving force that you helped so many people?
Thanks, Varun. Thank you so much for asking me this question. And this is a question I ask myself very often because Sakshi exists since 1992. And I came into Sakshi much later. So Sakshi was already doing a lot of brilliant work over there. But how did I land up over there? Because it was my own personal experiences with misogyny, with sexual harassment, and violence as a child, and even as an adult. It just made me feel really strongly about issues of violence against women and children. So I did not just enter the social justice system to what people say help people, but I wanted to carry forward what is it that I lacked in my life. So I wanted them to be informed. I wanted the misogynist narratives that plague our culture, our society, our collective psyche. I wanted them to be challenged and changed. So I think I find myself on a path of social justice movements, not for the purpose of helping others, but also to actually create a narrative for myself as well, to change the story that I have lived. And that's just the reason why
that makes you help people more because you have faced it. So I think that gives you more access. That's great. So can for our viewers, like, what are the latest projects you guys have been working on? What are the latest ongoing projects?
So currently we're working on a mission to reach out to 40,000 colleges and about 40 lakh NSS students in the country, and to get them to join us to become Rakshans. Now, who's a Rakshan? Rakshan is somebody who, for us, is a preventer of violence.
Okay.
Because we believe that our country, our nation needs the information, but it also needs healing. We are a deeply disillusioned country. We need healing from the collective trauma of never really reaching any real resolve for sexual violence. All we have is punitive justice, but does that really heal the people who have lived the sexual violence, so to speak? That is not sustainable. So we just need a holistic understanding of what is sexual violence, how does it impact everybody, and we need to unlearn misogyny, and we need to eliminate the idea, the concept, experience of sexual violence against children completely. But by understanding why is it that we have it. So through the Rakshan project, we're reaching out to 40,000 colleges, 40 lakh students, and through the webinars, and then through a sustained engagement that we're doing, we are looking at offering, because the statistics says 1 in 2 is a survivor. Okay. And that's a government statistics from 2007. Okay, small sample size and all of that, but then that is the statistics that we have. And we also have that equally, boys and girls are equally vulnerable. Okay, so when I'm speaking to this group of students, then I am sure that some of them have at least had some negative sexual experiences as a child, and which has been unresolved, unspoken, undisclosed, but it is something which is leading to some kind of a residue trauma inside them, and that needs to be healed. So in the Rakshan project, we have a complete program line of resolution mechanisms where we are offering them therapy, creative expressions, legal advice, whatever it is that they're ready to do, to be able to come across, overcome these barriers that we have which prevent us from talking, which is, denial. This doesn't exist. We don't have transsexual abuse. There is silence, that even if it is there, then I'm not going to speak about it because it probably cannot happen in my family or my friend's family. It's going to happen somewhere else. It can happen in your family or somewhere else's family, or it's probably happening in a faraway city somewhere, but it cannot be happening. Whereas what we know is that 90% of child sexual abuse takes place by known people.
Okay. So what I get from your answer is that you're targeting the roots basically, so that you can completely varnish it.
It is a project which is working to provide skills, information, tools to future Rakshans who are then equipped to further inform and educate the adults around them on the causes and harms of child sexual abuse. And then they together can watch out for children everywhere.
Perfect. So did this project start before the pandemic or during the pandemic? And the scale of the work you guys have been doing, is it like affected because of the current situations that are there?
It's a very interesting journey. So we have been working on putting this project together for a couple of years because it's something so sensitive and important and relevant that we wanted to be very sure about what is it, what is the message and what is the process with which we are entering into human lives. So we had just started rolling it out as an on-ground offline activity by going into the colleges and having the workshops just before the pandemic in February. And we were in the field when by February end, March beginning, corona effects came in, and there was a lockdown by the middle of March. But we didn't want our work to stop, not because we wanted to do the work only, but because this was the time when it was really needed. The lockdown had exacerbated what was really happening inside the homes, because home is not a safe space for many of us.
True.
You know, I mean, we have reports, it says 95% spike in demand for child pornography, 200% spike in violent child pornography. They specifically depicted beatings and other forms of grotesque violence, you know. So, and also now was the time with the pandemic that children were having access to internet.
True.
And online. And that makes them susceptible to cyber criminal activity by online bystanders. So we shifted all our programs onto an online setup. You know, so we shifted from on ground to online, and we reached out to the colleges, and we've had a humongous response from all the colleges and the students who have been engaged with us. And in fact, the scale and the speed of our work has increased during the pandemic.
So now that we know, because you explained us the project, and the youth has a lot to do with the project, because you said they can create more awareness in the future. And plus, you know, India is a youth booming country right now. We have so much of youth growing up that can be responsible. So what are your plans to connect the youth to your program, to the NGO? How do you plan on doing that?
So there are multiple actions that we're doing over here, you know. So first of all, we connect with them through the webinars that we're doing through their colleges and their NSS units. Then we continue to conduct discussions. We continue to stay engaged with them with educational modules that we're creating, be it through the social media discussions, through the social media lives that we're having with activists from across the country and internationally as well. We are hosting watch parties for them. We are having forum discussions. And we've also started an internship program where students can intern with us to not just become Rakshans, but also then they can acquire the skills to take it forward in their other future endeavors.
Okay.
You know, because the life skills that we're talking about how do you de-escalate a conflict? How do you recognize what is abuse? How do you speak up about it? How do you own your language? So all of these skills are something which are going to enable them to carry it forward as well in their own lives.
Perfect. So that is like an overall development you guys are providing to the youth. That is great. So let's just say that you go to so many colleges and you have reached so many people in so many different cities. And let's just say, like, I guess a lot of cities you guys have been to. Now the people you have already connected with, now if they want to reach out to you again or they need your help, is there any platform or is there any way you guys can do that, or they can reach you? So is there anything you guys have designed for that?
Yes, so we have avenues where they can reach out to us.
Okay.
Through the multiple avenues, so mail, social media, directly, WhatsApp groups. And then once we get to know what is it that they require from us, then we have a network of designated expertise, lawyers, therapists. So we then direct them to what is it that they require at that point of time, who will then further assist them with their queries.
So you guys are even working in union territories, right? You guys have reached 2 union territories till now?
Starting small, but we are kind of moving on. And the whole idea is to kind of take it pan-India. You know,
okay.
Reach out pan-India, and that is where. So the important elements that we have to do this is actually to say that we are going to look at technology, because that's what is going to be, and we have already got the whole wireframe and the architecture of the technology in place, which is going to enable us to reach out widely.
A lot of people, exactly. You did that. That is true. And right now, during this age, everybody is sitting in front of their laptop, so it will be easier for you to reach out to a lot of people. That is true.
Absolutely.
So now I have to ask that this is like a very important question because we deal with it. How do you think CSR can help you in this projects and in this philanthropical approach you guys have? Do you think CSR has an important role to play in this? Absolutely.
Even if I'm looking at the SDG goals 2030 that we have, We have 16.2, where one of the indicators that they have, which is 16.2.3, which is to say that the proportion of children who have experienced sexual violence is going to go down. That is an indicator with up to the age of 18, what the sexual violence that they've experienced is going to go down. So that is, it's really a part of a larger mandate that many CSRs have. And if we are talking about creating a social tipping point, then we need scale and speed to do that. And if we have to do that, then we need to put technology in place. We have three important factors over here. We have the audience, which you already have as a direction from the Ministry of Youth Affairs. We need technology, which is going to enable us to reach out to each and every student and actually track their individual progress and give them what is it that they need at the level that they are. And for that, we need the education modules, which is content.
Okay.
Now, making of content pieces, because our workshops and our webinars are extremely immersive. They're extremely experiential. So we take you into that particular moment of emotion where you understand it in its entirety, the experience of what is happening, and then we give you solutions and solution-oriented actions over there, which make you really understand, and it sticks with you, it stays with you. So content, technology, and reach. If we have to create a social tipping point, which is going to lead to recognize, resolve, and prevent child sexual abuse, CSR support is integral to this project.
Our nation right now, how is it standing? At what point do you think, and how much better we need to be for our CSR approach or our philanthropical approach, or any of, like, as a nation, where are we standing right now? If you see in terms of these, do you have any comment on it? Because you've been in the system and I know you've seen it all.
Yes.
So
Varun, very clearly, I believe that the way our corporates are rising to any situation, and from where it was a moral duty to now how it's become a corporate social responsibility, it's been a journey. But it's not as if it's only because we have the CSR 2% thing compliance or the Schedule 7 that we have in place, which is why the corporates are doing what they're doing. They have been doing, they have been supporting social issues for a very, very long time. It's just now become, but what has happened now is it's become really structured and organized and accountable. Okay, so we more and more now, the focus is very clearly on going into addressing the root causes of why is it that we are having a recurring problem that we're looking at over here. And here we really need, when we're talking about sexual violence, then we really need to have a large scale overhaul of our collective imaginations, you know, an imagination that does not include or accept that sexual violence against women, children, people of all genders, it's not normal. We cannot accept it as normal or a fact of life.
True.
The requirement is to envision that world and bring it to fruition. That's what we are here to do, to talk to the youth, to adults, to children, so that they realize a better world is possible, a world that they can be proud of. And I think more and more people believing in it and not being in that space that, okay, we don't want to support prevention of sexual violence. I think that little shift is something that I will invite all CSR initiatives to consider.
So as you have said, basically we need to teach our youth and every citizen of our nation that this is not normal and we do not need to accept it. If I'm getting it right, like just putting your words into mine. So that is absolutely the case, and we are so proud that you guys have been doing this work, and it makes us feel very happy. Thank you so much, Ms. Bharti, for joining us, and I'm pretty sure it was a very insightful interview for our viewers and for us. And I hope you guys will continue doing this work, and I hope I'll see you soon, really soon again.
Thank you so much, Harry. Thank you for your time. Thank you.